Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Code Man Movies Podcast. I know I skipped last week. I got a really bad cold, and it's still kind of here. I'm at the point where I don't necessarily want to be talking and doing this at the moment, but I want to do it because I don't want to skip 2 weeks in a row. Because of how sick I've been, how busy I've been with work, I haven't had a whole bunch of time to watch movies or anything like that. So even this 2 weeks worth of stuff combined into one episode isn't going to be all that long, probably the normal amount of time, 30 minutes to 45 minutes, we'll see. But yeah, so that's why I've been gone for the last week, and I didn't want to miss again, so we're gonna do it this week. No alcohol today though, because I'm still just feeling like crap. Yeah. So stuffy nose, if I sniffle, I apologize. If I cough, I apologize. All that, sickly stuff, I apologize. But anyways, let's get on to talking. Let's start with what I've watched in the last 2 weeks, I guess, here. First thing I watched, well, I have it on the screen here, 0 to 60, the Bob Saget comedy special. Like I said, like I've said in the last, see guys, I'm tired. I'm losing my mind. But in the last couple episodes, I talked about just wanting to rewatch some of Bob Saget's stuff. So I watched this comedy special. I did not think I ever saw this comedy special. And this one was not as good as the last one. I forgot what the last one's called that I watched. The one on HBO. I can't remember off the top of my head. Look it up. I apologize. I really do apologize. But anyways, guys, didn't love this one as much as the HBO one, but this is still a really solid comedy special from Bob Saget. His dark humor is just something that fascinates me, and I absolutely loved all of his dark humor bits that he does in this show. He brought an audience member on stage, did a bit with him. Just everything about the special was just really great. It's a nice hour-long watch, and it did just make my night better the night I watched it. Like I said, it's not as good as the first comedy special I talked about a couple weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago probably now. But it's still really solid, really good comedy special that I enjoyed quite a bit. It's like a 7 out of 10 for me. Definitely a few parts where I was looking at the watch, though, and there was definitely a couple moments that went on a little too long. But for the most part, it was definitely a very solid comedy special. 7 out of 10 for me on that one. Next up, guys, I went to the theater and I saw a little movie called The Godfather. It's had its 50th anniversary. This is known as one of the greatest films of all time. I believe it's on IMDb as number 1 of all time. Personally, I think this movie's a little bit overrated. It's an amazing movie, don't get me wrong. Technically and all that, the performances and all that are great. Some people say this movie's perfect. I don't think it's perfect. I think there are some definite pacing issues with this movie. And as I was watching this movie, I was kind of thinking about the movie, The Batman, actually. And just how I really like everything in The Batman and in The Godfather. It's just that there are certain moments and such that I just don't think need to be there or could have been changed a little bit, and it makes the runtime of the movie just a bit long. Still a really, really great movie. Just a classic, all-time amazing film. Beautiful family drama, and Marlon Brando freaking kills it in this movie. Just fantastic. It really is. It's a fantastic movie. My only complaints with it, like I said, were really that I feel that some subplots and such don't really need to be there, and I find that the runtime is just a little bit too long in this movie. It could have been just a teeny tiny bit shorter. Like I said, same thing with it's the same thing as the Batman, honestly. It's like the same issues I have. And I found it very interesting that I was comparing these two films, The Batman and The Godfather. But yeah, I was, as I was watching it in the theater. It was really great seeing it in the theater, though. It looked fantastic in the theater, and I'm glad I caught it before it ended up not being in theaters, because I was the only one in that theater, and not many people my age are probably going in to see The Godfather. Therefore, it didn't last long in theaters the last week. So, but at the end of the day, guys, it's a really great movie. I love The Godfather. It's just absolutely phenomenal film. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Keep in mind, it is a slower movie. It is intentionally paced to be slower as well, but definitely a really good movie, and everyone should have watched The Godfather. It's a freaking amazing movie. I give The Godfather like an 8 out of 10. Like I said, it's just a little overrated in my opinion, in the sense it's not a perfect film. I don't feel it's perfect. I would honestly have more of an argument for Godfather Part 2 than I do Godfather at being a perfect film, just because, I don't know, Godfather 2, I think, is just a better movie. But whatever, it is what it is. Come at me, I don't know. Some people probably won't come at me. I don't know. Anyways, Godfather, great movie. Watch it. Next up, guys, I watched the movie Deep Water on Hulu. And I had seen no trailers for this movie. I had heard some things about it, particularly from some critics. I like to watch movie reviews on YouTube after I see a movie and such like that, or just, get ideas for movies to watch and such like that. And some critics were talking about how crazy it is, and boy, were they not wrong. And the way they were describing it, it kind of felt like a Gone Girl kind of situation, which Ben Affleck, starred in. So I was interested just because of that Gone Girl factor. I love Gone Girl so much, and so I was really interested in it. I love Ana de Armas. I think that's how you say her name. I can't remember, but anyways, I was, oh god, sorry guys. Anyways, so yeah, I was excited for this movie and really looking forward to watching it. This movie is it's interesting. Yeah, so Ben Affleck's character and Anna's character are married, and in order to stop from having a divorce, Ben Affleck's character lets her flirt with other men, essentially. As long as, almost, I don't know, it's never fully explained, as long as she's not, sleeping with him or them or something like that. I don't know. The point is, this movie's weird. And that's kind of the first half of the movie. Second half, it turns into, this murder mystery. Is Ben Affleck's character murdering people? Murdering the men that she's flirting with and then sleeping with? And it's never fully explained, or this is just an interesting movie. I am so sorry. I told you, I'm tired. I don't feel good. After this, I'm literally just gonna, take a shower, go to bed, because I need to sleep, and try to get this goddamn sickness out of me. But anyways, what was I talking about? Deepwater. Anyways, guys, this movie's just insane and weird, and not necessarily the good kind like Gone Girl was. This movie's just, I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know. And this movie is 2 hours long, but it feels like 3 hours. It's not paced that's not paced the best. I don't think it's very well written. Performances are fantastic. The premise is interesting enough. At the end of the day, the movie just kind of left me going, eh. And that's what I can say about this movie as far as my rating goes, too. It's very eh. And I don't know, I can't really recommend it necessarily. It's like a 4 out of 10 for me. It's very eh. I don't know. It's just nothing spectacular. Yeah, I don't got much else to say about this movie. It's just very eh. and everything around them. The premise is awesome, and the movie's That's all I got for you. That's all I got for you. The movie is just. So, It's just Alright, guys. Oh, I'm struggling today, guys. I apologize. I really do. Next up, I don't know if I talked about this movie on my last episode. I think I did. But if I didn't, well, I'm going to talk about it now. And if I did, well, I'm going to talk about it again. Kimmy, starring Zoe Kravitz, is the director Steven Soderbergh. This is a movie about a girl who is, it takes place a little bit after the COVID and such, and she's like scared to go outside and such like that. She has high anxiety, and what she does for a living is she is associated with this device called Kimmy. And what Kimmy is basically a Google, and you can say, hey, Kimmy, play music, and it plays music. And what she does for a living is go through phrases that were misunderstood by the Kimmy and fixes them so it is understood. So if someone says, fuck you, Kimmy, and it goes, sorry, I don't understand that, Zoe Kravitz's character goes in and fixes it so that it'll go, this is profanity, it's insulting you. You should say, that was rude. If that makes any sense. Anyways, that's kind of what she does. And then the movie kind of turns... It's kind of more of a thriller because Zoe's character finds out that through one of these recordings that maybe someone was murdered, and the Kimmy picked it up and thought it was something different, and then things kind of go from there. She has to go outside of her apartment and figure things out with people, try to figure out what happened, if someone actually was murdered, and it goes a lot of different places that I didn't expect, and it's a really solid movie. I really, really, really actually enjoyed this movie. It's very unexpected in things that it did, and I was shocked by some of the turns and revelations that it took, and it was just a really, it sounds weird to say fun movie to watch because of its premise, but it just was a very engaging movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. As far as negative goes, there's some things that are a little far-fetched in this movie, some things that would not happen in real life, but it was big. It wasn't big enough that took me out of the movie necessarily. It's just big enough that a couple times I went, yeah, nope, that would happen, and that would be taken care of. And that's about it. I'm pretty sure I talked about this last time, but maybe I didn't. I don't remember. Guys, I'm that tired and sick. This is like a 7 or 8 out of 10 for me. I think I'd go more of an 8 out of 10 on this one. I really like this movie. The more I think about this movie, the more I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It was just a really good thriller, and just Zoe Kravitz is fantastic in this movie, and she's proving herself to be such an amazing actress with things like this and Mad Max and the Batman. Yeah. Guys, I told you I'm tired. But yeah, she's really proving herself to be a great actress, and I really appreciate that and enjoyed that. So yeah, Kimmy, if I didn't talk about it last week, well, I think I did. I'm pretty sure this is the second time talking about this movie. Oh well. Next up, guys, I watched a movie called Halloween Kills. Now, I don't think I ever did an actual review for this movie, and if I did, well, it would be one of those rant ones, because this movie fucking sucks. I love the original 1979, I believe, Halloween. It is a phenomenal horror movie. It's just a phenomenal movie, period. All the other sequels are kind of crap. Halloween 2018 I thought was really good. There were some things that bugged me in that movie, particularly the doctor in the movie, particularly just some character motivations, some script issues in the 2018 Halloween. But that movie ended, and I was hopeful. I was very hopeful for what these last two movies, the next two movies could bring. And we get Halloween Kills. Guys, this movie just freaking pisses me off. First of all, everyone in this movie is a goddamn fucking idiot. Everyone. There is not a single character that does anything smart or anything like that. Everyone's just stupid. Just stupid as all can be. And it pisses me off whenever I watch this movie how stupid people are. There's so many just examples. Let's just give you some examples here. There's the scene where they're inside Michael Myers' old house. The Big John, Little John are there, and there's someone in the house. What does he do? He grabs a little fucking cheese knife. He grabs a little knife, and then they're going around. Big John, Little John, Big John, Big John. Why don't you just tell the person in your house where you're at so that they can come and find you and kill you, fucking idiots? Another situation. They're about to go into Michael Myers' house. With the daughter and her boyfriend and the boyfriend's dad. What does he do? Oh, guys, I'm going to go inside by myself. What does he do? He knocks on the door before going inside, letting the killer know where the hell he's at. And then he goes inside. There's a gunshot. And then they decide to go in after him. Again, making a whole bunch of noise. At one point, she goes over to the dead Big and Little John and pulls out the knife and is looking at them. Michael Myers could be right behind you, killing you, and you're playing with dead bodies, you fucking idiot girl. And then, towards the end, they're trying to kill Michael Myers. I'm sorry, guys, there's spoilers in this, by the way. No one fucking cares, because this movie sucks. But anyways, Michael Myers, they're gonna kill him. What do they bring to fight Michael Myers, the man who survived a fire and countless falls and shit like that? Oh, a golf club and a baseball bat and, well, a knife, but we'll stab him in the back, which, you know, good place. No one can survive a stab in the back. It'd be so much better, you know, maybe cut off his head or, you know, maybe cut off his hands so that he can't use them anymore. I mean, you're gonna fucking kill the guy, though. Cut off his fucking head. People are just so fucking stupid in this movie, and it pisses me off. I went and saw this movie opening weekend on October 15th of 2021, and I remember getting out and going, ugh, that movie's fucking terrible. And looking at reviews, and some people really like this movie. They think it's a fun, good time, guilty pleasure. I don't necessarily get that. And I didn't get that the first time watching it, so I went back and watched it again, same weekend. Thought the movie was even dumber the second time around. And I am just, it just confused the hell out of me. Well, then I went and saw this movie a third time in theaters. Why? Because a buddy of mine wanted to go to the movies. He wanted to go see a horror movie. There was only one horror movie really playing at this time, and that was Halloween Kills. So I went and saw this movie 3 times in theaters. So I watched it again this week for a 4th time, just because it came on HBO Max. And at this point, part of the reason why I watched this movie and why it's not necessarily guilty pleasure, it's just more of a happy memory for me now, is the fact I did go to the movies with my buddy to go see this movie, and he is going to school to be a cop, and he was like, wow, shitty police work, wow, that's stupid, wow, that's dumb, but he had fun with it. He actually had fun with the movie. I did not. So every time I watch this movie, it's going to be me going, I had fun watching this with my buddy. I need to understand why he likes this movie and why other people like it. And after a 4th time of watching this movie, I still don't understand it. Why do people like this movie? I just don't get it. I just don't. It sucks. This movie fucking sucks. That felt good. Anybody else feel better? I know I do. That's Halloween Kills for you. This movie's like a 3 out of 10 for me. could not stand this movie. I could not stand it. It's terrible. It's bad. I hope Halloween Ends is better. I hear it's acknowledging COVID, that it takes place like 4 years after the first two, since the first two are technically basically like one day and night. Halloween ends on the same night that Halloween Kills takes place during it. God, this fucking movie. Fuck this movie. Don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's just pissing me off. I watched a little movie called Romancing the Stone this week, guys. I knew The Lost City was coming out, and I knew that Romancing the Stone is basically kind of what The Lost City is. And there's definitely comparisons. We'll talk about that in a bit when we talk about The Lost City, because I did go see that this week as well. But let's talk a little bit about Romancing the Stone. Romancing the Stone stars Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, Danny DeVito. It is also directed by Robert Zemeckis, which I did not know that. This was the first time I had ever seen this movie. And when it started and I saw Robert Zemeckis' name, I got a little bit more excited, because this is his earlier work before what he's made in the last 10 years of Robert Zemeckis hasn't been that great. Anyways, so I was excited. Because this is around Back to the Future time, Forrest Gump time. And this movie is about a writer who ends up... about a writer. Her sister is kidnapped, and she needs to go to... I think it's South Africa... to go and... So you guys, I'm that tired. I really am. Anyways, she has to go on this trip to North America, somewhere, South Africa, to save her sister, who has been kidnapped. She has to go save her kidnapped sister. That's kind of what the movie about. She ends up meeting Michael Douglas. Romance ensues. It's like the tagline says, she's a girl from the big city. He's a reckless soldier of fortune. For a fabulous treasure, they share an adventure no one could imagine or survive. Yeah, that kind of sums up the movie. Really does, actually. This movie's fine. It's nothing spectacular, in my opinion. I don't know that I'll ever need to see this movie again or watch it again. But it was fine. It was an enjoyable movie. Like I said, I kind of just watched it because of Lost City coming out. And I just wanted to see the comparisons, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, it's enjoyable enough. I didn't love this movie, though. Not one of Bob Zemeckis' best work. But it was like a solid 6 out of 10 for me. 7 out of 10, 6, We'll go 7 out of 10 on this one. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It felt a bit long. I kind of got bored with the characters after a while, and I didn't love the story as much as I kind of wanted to. But still, at the end of the day, it's a fun, solid adventure romance movie. So yeah, 7 out of 10. That's what I'm going to give that one. Then, guys, like I said, I went and saw The Lost City. And like I said, I've said this on, I think, the last episode, maybe. I don't remember. Maybe I did. But I was really excited about this movie. I love Sandra Bullock. I think Channing Tatum has had a really interesting career, and I love where it's going. Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter, for God's sake, so I was really excited about that. They also showed Brad Pitt in the trailers, which he looked hilarious. And so, yeah, with all those things in mind, I was really excited to go see this movie. And like I said before, and we talked about Romancing the Stone, I heard a lot of people comparing it to Romancing the Stone and such like that. And it very much is basically the same plot. Sandra Bullock is a writer, and instead of her sister getting kidnapped, she gets kidnapped. And Channing Tatum, who is the cover model for her books, is the one who's tasked to come to save her. So it's a bit different, but it essentially the same plot. It is a romantic adventure movie, and similar to what I just said about Romancing the Stone, this movie's kind of fun. It's dumb. It goes on a bit long, in my opinion. The writing is a little ridiculous at times. Definitely not a perfect movie, but but it was fine enough. Sorry guys, like I said. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I think every actor in this movie knew what movie they were in, and they were just having fun with it. I wish Brad Pitt's character had not been shown in the trailer, and I wish they had just kind of left it for us to find out in the theater. Similar to kind of like Deadpool 2, honestly, with his cameo. I think it would have been a lot better and would have been more of a surprise. And just, anyways, his cameo, I think would have been more of a surprise and would have been something more talked about than what the movie is getting talked about. But I found the first half of this movie really good, and then the second half kind of got boring for me and just kind of like I said, though, everyone in this movie does a great job at what they're supposed to do. Daniel Radcliffe is clearly having a blast. Sandra Bullock's having a blast. Channing Tatum's having a blast. They're all having fun doing these things. But at the end of the day, the movie's just kind of, it's fine. When I was watching the trailers, I felt like I knew the entire movie. I felt like they had given us all the big scenes. I was kind of surprised that really we only had seen the first half of the movie in the trailers, really. Daniel Radcliffe's motivation is kind of stupid. He's just a rich guy that his dad gave his brother more attention, essentially. It's kind of stupid. There's also moments in this movie that like characters are walking away from the camera and they're saying stuff, but I'm pretty sure that was just like put in later on in the movie. I feel like they filmed these scenes with no intention of having anything being said by the characters, and they were like, well, we need some more laughs, so let's just say these lines. Because there's just a couple times where like Sandra's walking away from the camera and she's talking, but like her face is not moving from the back. Like when you see someone talking, you know, you can tell with their neck and you don't see it. And some of the things she says, it feels quick, like she didn't actually want to do it, like it sounded stupid, or she didn't have time to do it, so she's like, walk around it, and it was just something stupid. Then there's a couple moments like that. At the end of the day, though, guys, this is just a fun, good time movie. Turn your brain off, just have fun. Oh my God. The romance in this movie is, I don't know, it kind of felt forced, honestly, but it was fine. You know, at the end of the day, everyone knew what movie they were in, and the movie is fun. The actors are having fun, therefore you have a bit of fun with it. Nothing spectacular, not a movie I'm ever going to need to necessarily watch again. If this is Sandra Bullock's last movie, she's talked that this might be her last movie for at least a while. That makes me sad. It made me sad that she hasn't had a movie in theater since 2018. I think Ocean's 8. That made me sad alone. Like, this was the first time I saw Sandra Bullock on the big screen since 2018. And I wish she would do more movies that were on the big screen and not always Netflix and stuff like that. But it is what it is. But at the end of the day, guys, this is an enjoyable movie. Nothing amazing. Just enjoyable enough. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10. You know, just a good, dumb, fun time. But I did enjoy myself in the theater. I will say that. Let's not talk about that first. Let's talk about, I think I missed one. Right there. I saw another movie in theaters yesterday because I went and saw The Lost City yesterday. I saw this movie yesterday, X. X is a horror movie. These group of young adults go to the country and rent this like cabin essentially from this old couple to make a porno. And things go from there. They start dying. The old people are creepy. And this is an interesting movie. It's a very good movie. It's a very disturbing movie. The basic plot of this, I don't want to spoil anything. The reason why people start dying in this movie gets to be insane. and not in a bad way necessarily, in a way that made sense, but like, it was just disturbing. And this is a very sexual movie, I will say that. And it's not just because of its plot necessarily. There are scenes where they're filming, sex scenes and such like that. It is very graphic in the sense of, that you see some dick, you see some titties, you see some ass. It's just, there's some stuff. This is almost a movie I'd love to talk about, spoilers, but this movie is just insane and disturbing and weird, and it's a great movie. It really is a great movie, but it's disturbing. I don't know that I want to watch it again. It is gross, and not in like a torture porn kind of way where people are just getting their heads cut off, but just gross. Because there's stuff that happens in this movie that was gross. I don't know how else to say it. I'm spoiling it, but this movie is insane. I had a good time with it, but wow. This movie's insane. It's just insane. I needed to go see The Lost City to just empty my mind a bit. Oh, I'm so sorry. I needed to empty my mind a little bit and just get a little bit of mind-numbing fun movie like The Lost City to get over this movie, because this movie's just batshit crazy, and I loved it. There's a couple moments in the movie that are just dumb. There's some typical horror cliches that are in this movie, and just characters being dumb and such like that. That always just kind of bugged me, and it just bugged me a little bit. And I felt the pacing of the movie at times as well. I think it maybe could have been just a teeny tiny bit shorter. This movie's just insane, though, guys. It really is a fun horror movie, though, it's weird. It's an A24 movie. If you're not big into A24 movies, it maybe seek something else. Because, wow. At the end of the day, guys, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. It is a very good movie. Very disturbing, very weird, very good horror movie, but wow, is it weird. Yeah, it's weird. I'm realizing there's a movie missing from this list, maybe. Oh, there it is. I also watched this movie this week as well in preparation of Sandra Bullock. I just realized that this movie, my pictures aren't in order for some reason. Usually I try to put my pictures in order. I'm just tired, guys, and I'm exhausted. But I also watched The Heat in the week leading up to The Lost City, because it was a Sandra Bullock movie that I had, and I really do. It's a comedy. It's a good time. Something good to watch before work. So The Heat. This movie came out in 2013, and oh my god, I'm tired. Okay. Anyways, guys, this movie came out in 2013, and it has the same director as Bridesmaids. And Bridesmaids is a movie that I flippin' love. I saw that movie in 2011 and didn't think I was going to love that movie as much as I did, but that movie had me dying laughing. And so I was excited to see a follow-up movie from director Paul Feig. And boy, is this movie fantastic. The Heat is not better than Bridesmaids, but it is so funny. There's so many great scenes. I reference this movie all the time. Little balls and the freaking bit where they're in the bar and singing all night and dancing and shit. Oh my god, this movie's so good. This movie is freaking hilarious, and I laugh at it every freaking time I watch it. Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy have fantastic chemistry, and it's just a phenomenal movie. I absolutely love The Heat. This is such a great comedy. Comedies are so hard to come by, I feel like, lately, and Paul Feig did 3, really, counting Spy 2 as well. He's done fantastic with some comedies. The last couple movies he did were not as good, but Well, actually, I like Simple Favor. Take that back. That was like, what, 2019, 2018, somewhere in there. Anyways, fantastic comedy. Love this movie so much. I have seen it way too many times. Same thing with Bridesmaids. I love it. And I love it. And I love that there's the females are the leads. Like, I think that's just fantastic. And I love seeing women... I love seeing Melissa McCarthy go, fuck you, motherfucker, and shit like that. I love it. I love it. This movie is fantastic. 8 out of 10 for me. Definitely some moments in the movie that don't necessarily need to be there, and some jokes that don't necessarily land, and the twist at the end's kind of dumb. There's a twist in the movie. Yeah, but this movie's really good, guys. If you haven't seen The Heat, check it out if you need a comedy to watch. Okay, was that... Oh, no. Okay. Now, let's talk about the Oscars, guys. The Oscars were on Sunday. I did not get to watch it. I was at work. So I ended up watching the last 15, 20 minutes of it while doing some book work at work. And then came home on Monday, yesterday, to watch it. And boy, what an Oscars. I'm not too surprised by the winners of this year's Oscars. The big one that kind of upset me was Jessica Chastain's Tammy Faye. I didn't think, out of all of them, I thought she was the worst. I think Olivia Colman could have gotten that. I think Kristen Stewart really should have gotten that. What's the other two? I forget who else was nominated. Anyways, I can't remember who else got nominated, but Jessica Chastain just didn't... I didn't think she deserved that one. I think that was more just for body of work more than anything, like they do sometimes. Yeah, that was the only one that I was really surprised about, honestly. I'm really happy that Coda won Best Picture. I think that's fantastic. It was on my top 10 of last year. I think Tick, Tick, Boom was a better movie, but, you know, it is what it is. Not enough people... yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, so that was interesting. I think the people behind the Oscars are losing their goddamn minds, is what I think. Because every year they're just doing these silly little things, and then they, like, take it back before they actually do it, and just like the top 5 best moments or whatever, both of them were Zack Snyder movies, and it was just Twitter ganging up, Zack Snyder's Twitter fans ganging up to make, it's just, it was really stupid. And then the Oscars canceling some categories and then putting them in later, that was kind of dumb, and it didn't make the show shorter, which is what they were trying to do. I enjoyed our hosts, Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes, and what's her name? Regina Hall? No, yes, maybe? I can't remember. I forgot what her name was. Anyways. Oh my god. I enjoyed them as hosts, and I liked the bits that they were doing. But let's get into the big thing of the night. Will Smith going on stage and slapping Chris Rock. Wow. Okay, first of all, I've never been a big Will Smith fan personally. I have personally found him to just... He's a great actor, don't get me wrong. I feel like he's fake with everything he does. He just seems very phony, in my opinion. I don't buy anything he's ever saying. I don't believe that he's actually as nice as he makes himself think he is. To me, he comes off as arrogant. Same thing with his wife and his kids. Just arrogant and snobby. And I've just never been that big of a Will Smith fan. I really haven't. I know people love him. Like I said, I think he's a great actor. I don't love him. So when he went on stage and slapped Chris Rock, it didn't fully surprise me. And I think, my opinion, it kind of showed his true self. It showed kind of what I have been thinking of him as all this time. while Chris Rock's joke was kind of unnecessary, it crossed the line a little bit in my opinion. It wasn't that bad. Not so bad that you should be getting up on the stage and slapping him. It was just so unnecessary and so unprofessional and just ridiculous. Chris Rock even said at the beginning of the joke that, like, I love you, Jada. You know, like, he was setting it up. He was literally telling Jada, this is a joke. Calm down. And the fact that Will Smith got on stage and slapped him was not cool. And back in 2015 with Will Smith and Jada going Oscars so white and crap, if I were part of the Academy, I would not be allowing Will Smith to come back to that show. He has already outed them not even 6 years ago, saying that the Oscars are racist and stuff. And now he's getting up on stage and slapping people. And I just don't think that's okay. And again, like I said, I think Will Smith is just very fake and phony. And I noticed that with every single winner after that moment, he was getting up after they won and shaking their hands going, good job, you won. And it was almost like he was trying to clean up his mess. Which, again, it's just fake and phony. I don't think he actually cared that certain people won their awards. He was just doing it to look better, is my personal opinion. And I think he's been doing that for a very long time. And I've just kind of had enough of it. His speech also was just not... First of all, it was probably the longest acceptance speech in Oscar, like, freaking history. They kept letting him go and go and go, and they should have just played him off. He should have had the shortest speech of the night. He apologized, which he did not apologize to Chris Rock. He just apologized to the cast of King Richard, basically, and the Academy. And then talking about how he's a vessel of love. You're not a vessel of love if you're going up on stage and slapping people because they said a joke. Granted, it was a dumb joke. I'm not necessarily standing up for Chris Rock. But at the same time, dude, it was a joke. And I'm done with, I really am done with Will Smith. I don't like him. I haven't liked him, and this makes me really not like him anymore, and I don't know. I have no intention. I really do hope that he's not accepted back anymore. And he's apologizing, Jada's apologizing. I just don't buy it. I feel like they are just doing this phony crap, and I don't like it. I really don't. I think he's earned his Oscar for sure. I don't think they should be taking it away from him or anything like that, but I don't want to see him there anymore. The night has been nothing. No one's talking about Coda at this point. Everyone's just talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. No one cares that Coda won Best Picture. And Coda is a phenomenal movie. People should be talking about the fact that it won Best Picture because it is a phenomenal movie. It really is a very good movie, and people should be watching it if they haven't already. And that's what I think is sad, is that we're not even talking about movies at this point. We're just talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, and I don't like that. I wish that the Oscars could go back to just celebrating movies, because that's what it's about. And instead, Will Smith ruined the entire last hour of the freaking show by making things heavy and tension-filled and awkward. And it just bugs me. It bugs me that we're even talking about this. It really does. Yeah. Like Kevin Costner, when he came out and was talking about his first experience in the cinema, and he was presenting director for Jane Campion, ended up winning for Power Dog. When he was talking about that, I loved that. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was very true to why we do the Oscars, because we want to celebrate movies. We want to talk about why they They move us. Why we love movies. That's what we watch the Oscars for. That's why we watch movies, to be swept away and moved. And this was not it. This was not it. And part of it is just the goddamn producers and stuff. They don't know what the hell they're doing anymore. And they need to go back and figure out, realize that we watch the Oscars because we love movies, not because we need all these little bits and stuff like that. I love the reunions that they brought on. They did White Man Can't Jump and Juno and Pulp Fiction. That was great. But just all these things, and the Oscars needs to change its ways, or it's going to end up being like the Golden Globes, which they made a joke about. How the Golden Globes no longer really are a thing. The Oscars aren't going to be a thing anymore either if they keep this up. I really do feel that way. But so yeah, Oscars, it wasn't the greatest show in the world, but I'm still watching next year because this is my Super Bowl, I guess you could say. And yeah, I'm just going to be watching. But it was the biggest thing of the night is Will Smith, and I hate that is the biggest thing of the night because there was just no reason for what he did. That's my opinion. I know yours is probably different. That's fine. Let's just talk about movies coming out next week. This next week, we have Morbius. This movie was supposed to come out 2-3 years ago, and from the minute I saw this trailer, I went ugh. And I don't know, just look at this poster. It looks stupid. And what is this? What is this? The special effects look shitty. What's that? This movie looks stupid. I don't like Jared Leto. I think he's he is a good actor. I'll give him that, I guess. But this movie looks terrible. They're teasing it. The trailers have kind of teased that it's also part of Spider-Man with MCU and stuff, and I hope that's not true. I don't think it's going to be true, especially with No Way Home having that post-credit scene with Venom in it. Yeah, I'm not excited to see this movie. I'm going to go see it on Thursday, well, maybe not Thursday, but I'm going to go see it. I think it's not going to be good, but, we'll see. Morbius. This movie has been pushed back 100 times, too. It was supposed to come out earlier this year, in January or February, and they pushed back to April. Some people say it's to connect it. Although, look, I didn't even notice this. There is an A for Avengers or something, but it's supposed to be a bus. The scene from the trailer, I don't know. This movie just looks... Tyrese Gibson's in it. He's another man causing drama. This movie, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good in my opinion, and I think it's going to be a piece of crap, but we'll see. You never know. The next big superhero movie, I think I'm just going to watch Moon Knight, which Moon Knight, what is that? Is that Wednesday? Wednesday. Comes out on Wednesday. I'll be watching that. Maybe I'll do weekly episode reviews. We'll see what kind of show it is and such like that. But yeah. Yeah, guys, that's the movies of the week, and this is the movie coming out this next week. Not excited for it. I'm just looking at this poster, and God, this movie looks terrible. All right, guys, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. I'm just gonna relax and try to get some sleep and sleep off this cold. I will see you next week, hopefully at a more usual time. I had to work these last 2 Tuesdays because someone was on vacation. So I had to put in some extra work, which means 80-hour weeks. Yeah. Anyways, guys, it's nice talking to you. Nice seeing you. I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. All that fun jazz, and I'm stalling because I want to get to my watch and turn it off. Okay, bye, guys.